Well, guys, it's a sad day for all of us. It's a sad day for all of us Breaking Bad fans. But the greatest show of all time has unfortunately ended. And TV will never, ever be the same again without it. Anyway, hey there, guys, what's up? It's Autobot Mike 18 here with another episode review. Guys, it pains me to say this. I have a huge hole in my heart right now. I really do. But Breaking Bad has finally come to an end, and the series finale just aired like 20 minutes ago. Here I am with my review of it, guys, and I can't believe it's over. I can't believe that. It felt like just yesterday was August 11th, and it was return of the final episodes. I mean, I can't believe it's over. I can't believe this show is finished. I mean, here's the ironic thing. So many people were dying to find out how the show was going to end. But then again, so many people were dreading its end because now it's done. It's over, and there's no more episodes of Breaking Bad. But anyway, guys, here I am with my review of the series finale of Breaking Bad. This is Breaking Bad Season 5, Episode 16, Felina. I really do like the title. I'm going to talk about everything in regards to this episode, guys. Also, really quickly, I would love to... Look at that. I gotta show you guys this. Look at that. I had to wear this shirt today. Come on, it's the end of Breaking Bad. I had to wear that shirt today. I wore it proudly. You know what? This is by far the greatest show I've ever watched in my life, guys. I am so pleased with the finale. Of course, I'm going to get more into it and what I actually really enjoyed about this episode and the finale, the end of the series in general. I have a lot of things to discuss, guys. This is going to be a complete spoiler-filled review. I'm going to spoil the whole entire thing. I'm not only going to spoil this episode, I'm going to spoil the whole entire series. So, the end to the series. So, definitely do not watch this review if you've never even watched the show before. But a lot to discuss, guys. First off, I'm going to start talking about the plot summary and all that. And I am going to obviously talk a lot about everything that happened on tonight's episode. I'm going to, discuss a few things, and then I'm going to, talk about a couple other things I liked about the episode and the end of the series. And real quick, guys, I do apologize if I stopped to get a drink break at all during the review, but I'm just getting over a cold, so I really don't feel that great either. So my throat's going to start to go, so I'm going to need water here and there. So just bear with me, guys. So anyway, let's start talking about this episode. There's literally so much to get into. It was a beautiful finale. It really, really was. That's all I'm going to say for right now. So as for the plot summary, we all know in last week's episode, which was Granite State, excuse me, Walt was in the bar. He was ready to give himself. He was ready to turn himself in. He was ready for the New Hampshire police to literally come over there and arrest him. He was ready to give himself up because of that phone call with him and Junior. And Junior had completely broken away from him. Junior was done with him and everything that he had done because Junior knows everything. So while was waiting for the cops to show up, he watches Elliot and Gretchen on TV, them talking about the business and how he was never really involved with it and all that. We think that their interview really set him off, so he leaves the bar, and we realize, you know what, he's still got some unfinished business to take care of. So, guys, this episode opens with Walt getting into this car. It's got snow all over it. He starts the car up with this set of keys, and he drives off. So I seriously thought they were going to start the episode off with some, freaky kind of intro, but they didn't. I'm kind of glad they did. I thought they would do, a little flashback or something, but that's cool. So Walt starts the car up, and he drives off, and we know exactly where he's headed. He's headed right back home, and that's where he goes. So he gets back home about a couple of days later. You'd assume he had to drive all the way from New Hampshire to Albuquerque, New Mexico. So he stops at this gas station, and he poses as this guy working for the New York Times, and he basically wants to get Gretchen and Elliot's address, and we're like, is he possibly going to go kill him, or what is he going to do? What is his purpose for going over to Gretchen and Elliot's house? Because they just made that interview, they were talking about him. Now, we don't know if that really pissed him off, or if that set him off, or what. So he goes over to their beautiful house. They have absolutely no clue he's in the house. And I love this scene where he's just walking. Excuse me, guys. He's just walking around the house. He's looking around at every thing they have. He's looking around at pictures, and in my opinion, I thought he was like kind of taking in everything that they had, and he was kind of saying to himself, you know, what if I stuck with this company? What if this could have been me? You know, I think he was like relishing everything that they had in their, you know, their huge house and everything. We still didn't know at this point, is he going to kill them or not? So they find Walt, and Walt's like, don't worry, I actually have something to give you. And they're absolutely, completely shocked that he's in the house. So in one of the next scenes, Walt has a huge stack, not as huge as that stack earlier, a few episodes back, that Huel and QB laid on, but it's like another big stack in Gretchen and Elliot's house. It's got like $9 million in cash. And Walt tells them that he wants this $9 million to go to Walt Jr. on his 18th birthday. And we're like, and we understand why Walt's doing this. He wants to give Jr. this $9 million for his birthday. He wouldn't give it to him himself because that relationship is torn. That's it. That relationship is done. And he wants to make sure that they are going to give Jr. this money. And, you know, Gretchen and Elliot are kind of like shocked. You know, they're like, all right, fine, we'll do it. Walt makes a signal to like 2 hitmen waiting outside their house. They have like red dot sights pointed at Gretchen and Elliot, and he tells them, you know what, I hired the 2 greatest hitmen in the world on my way home, and they're going to be watching you or whatever. So he literally leaves their house, and they're obviously going to do what he says. And Walt gets into his car, and we see the 2 hitmen getting into the car, but they're not hitmen. It turns out they are Skinny Pete and Badger. When I saw them get into that car, I was so happy. That was by far the funniest scene in the episode. That was really, I love what they did with that. That was genius. I did not see that coming. A part of me was like, how did he just find 2 hitmen? What, did he just randomly find 2 hitmen? No. He hired Skinny Pete and Badger. He got Skinny Pete and Badger to do that. He literally gave them like red lasers to use as like red dot sights. Excuse me. That was brilliant. I absolutely loved that. And he asked them a specific question. He asked them, what's going on with the fact that my product is still out there? So this is one of Walt's biggest concerns. Why is my product still out there? They don't know what's going on, so Walt realizes maybe Jesse's up to something. What if Jesse's still alive? Because as of this point, Walt has no clue Jesse's still alive. Walt thought that Jack was going to kill Jesse, as Jack promised he would. Todd took Jesse, saying he was just going to question him, then he was going to kill him. So Walt knows someone's cooking my meth. The only one who could cook it as good as me, really, is Jesse. So Jesse is the one who must still be alive, and he's still cooking the meth. So Walt drives off. You know he's got some unfinished business to do. You know he's probably pissed off that his product's still going around. So we literally see Walt getting the M60 and the rice, and I love the scene. They show him going back to get the rice, and they show the flashback of Hank talking about Walt going on a ride along to get the meth from season 1, episode 1. That was a great flashback, and it just reminded Walt of how I got started and how he got started in all of this. That was a beautiful scene. Vince Gilligan directed this episode. Was brilliant, by the way, guys. So moving on. Walt heads over to the cafe that Lydia always goes to. He's like hiding in plain sight. You know, he's still got the hair and everything, so he's in disguise. And Lydia and Todd arrive at the cafe, and he sits down at the table unexpectedly. They had no clue he was going to come. They had no clue he was going to be there. And Lydia like freaks out. She wants to leave. He sits them down, and we're wondering what he's doing here. They're shocked to see him. He's like, you know what? I have a new business opportunity I would like to discuss with you. I want to start something new. He goes on about all this BS about this new business that he wants to, this new business measure or whatever. And Walt ends up leaving, and Lydia gets her tea. The waiter brings over her tea, and she pours a packet of sugar into her tea. And we literally see a shot of like the sugar going into the tea, and we're like, could that sugar possibly be the ricin that Walt took from his house? And that's what everyone, I'm sure, was predicting at the point, that Lydia was going to get the ricin. And I'm like, I'm pretty damn sure that's the ricin right there. So in one of the next scenes, we show Skyler. Skyler is in her new home, and in that new house, and she gets a call from Marie. Marie telling her that Walt has been spotted all over the place, and she's like, I'm sure there's cops. Marie's like, don't worry, they'll get him. I'm sure there's cops. they're going to protect you or whatever. So Skyler hangs up with Marie, and, she's just sitting there, she's smoking a cigarette, she's very quiet, and we're like, she knows something's up. The camera literally pans to the side, and I love this shot. We see Walt hiding behind like a pillar, and he's in the house, and he was listening the whole time to that conversation. That was just freaking genius. That literally blew me away. I was like, whoa, I didn't know he was going to be in the house. So, Walt, long story short, with Walt's conversation with Skyler, this is essentially, Walt believes this is going to be his final goodbye to Skyler. This scene was pretty impressive. I must say that much. Walt hands Skyler over the lottery ticket where he wrote down the coordinates where he buried the money, and he tells her that that's where you can find the bodies of Hank and Steve Gomez. And we're like, okay, so that's how they're going to find out where those bodies are, because no one knows where they are. No one knew other than Walt and Jack and the men. So Walt basically tells Skyler, you know what, I'm going to handle those guys. I remember Skyler tells Walt that 3 men with masks came into her house in the last episode, and they threatened her, and Walt's like, don't worry, I'm going to take care of them or whatever. And we're like, oh, he's going to do something to him. It definitely involves an M60. But anyway, Walt's talking with Skyler, and in this one scene, this was probably the most satisfying part of the episode, apart from the ending. Walt admits to Skyler why he did all this, all the crystal meth, all the cooking and everything with Jesse and every single thing he's been involved in. She thinks he's going to tell her that he did all this for his family, again, because he always says that, but he doesn't. This scene really impressed the hell out of me. He tells her, I did all this because I liked it. It made me feel alive, and this just blew me away. Now, a lot of people have been commenting on my previous Breaking Bad videos, oh, Walt was only doing this because of his greed, and he only did this because he liked cooking meth or whatever. He wasn't never doing any of this for his family. And a part of me really believed he was doing this for his family. A part of me knew he was really greedy, and he did love cooking crystal meth. But it just really blew me away when you think about it. Walter White, in the beginning, he said in this episode, it made him feel alive. He was the boring chemistry teacher. He lived a boring, humdrum life with his family. And after being diagnosed with cancer, yes, he started all of this for his family, to get money for his family after he would die. But his main purpose for it, after a while, after he started doing it, he used his knowledge of chemistry and all that to begin cooking meth after partnering with Jesse and all that. He did all of this because he loved doing it, and that was brilliant. You know what? I applaud Gilligan and the writers for that, because the whole series, they made it seem like he was doing this for his family, and they really did make it seem like he was doing this for his family. But it turns out Walt was, while he was getting money for his family, he couldn't stop doing it. He was just completely, not obsessed, I don't know what the word is, just, he couldn't stop cooking meth. This was his passion. That's the word. Cooking meth was his passion, and this product, this is his, and he absolutely loved doing it, and that's why he did all this. And this pleased Skyler, because she thought he was going to give a bullshit excuse. I'm doing all this for my family. No, he told her the truth this time, and I love that. So he says his final goodbye to Holly, and he literally sees Junior coming home from school. He leaves Skyler's house, and he sees Junior walking into the Skyler's door. And we know he wants to say something to Junior. He wants to say a final goodbye to Junior, but he doesn't. He just watches Junior. He just wanted to see Junior for one final time after that business he's got to go take care of with Jack and the others. He's got some unfinished business, but I think that the look on Walt's face in that scene, that absolutely showed nothing other than, I think, complete regret. I think that's the absolute one thing Walt regrets out of all of this, is that he tore up his relationship with his son. I mean, he never had a strong relationship with his son to begin with, really. We really never saw him doing anything with his son. But his passion for cooking meth just drove him to do nothing really other than that, and he kind of stopped becoming the family man and spending time with his son, and that's the one thing he regrets. In the end, he tore up that relationship with him and his son, and I think he really, truthfully regrets that, and he didn't even physically say goodbye to his son. He just watched him that last time, and he leaves. And finally, guys, we have entered the last scene of the episode, and we knew that a shootout was going to unfold. Walt still has that M60. He supposedly used that ricin on Lydia, which I'll get to. So Walt arrives at the hideout, Jack's hideout, Jack and Todd's hideout, and also the place where the meth lab is, and also the place where Jesse is. We did see Jesse earlier in this episode. He was cooking a batch of meth, or whatever, and that was that. So Walt arrives at the hideout and parks his car right near the shack. And you see all Jack's men. They're all outside with Walt. They frisk him. They walk him into the shack. And Jack and Todd are waiting in there. And they think that Walt is meeting with them to talk about them with this business opportunity, this new business opportunity that he brought up with Todd at the cafe. Todd and Lydia. And that's what he's telling them he wants to do. And then Jack's like, why do you want to do this? That's it. I can't start anything else with you. He's done with him. So Jack wants to kill Walt. And Walt's like, no, wait. You still owe me. I know my product's been going around. I know you still have Jesse Pinkman alive. So he's like, I know you teamed up with Jesse Pinkman. And Jack's like, Jack kind of feels like insulted, you know. He's like, I wouldn't team up with a rat or whatever. So he has his men bringing Jesse. And we see Jesse. Jesse's brought into the shack. And Walt and Jesse lay eyes on each other after months. Jesse had been held in captivity, and Walt had been hiding in New Hampshire. And Jesse, he's got long hair, he's in shackles, and Walt is just looking at Jesse, and they're staring at each other, and they're going to kill Jesse for Walt, as per what Walt always wanted them to do with Jesse. He told them, I want you to kill him back in the desert, back in Tohajale. And Walt literally grabs the car keys for the car that he drove to the hideout. He's fumbling them around in his hand, and he literally shackles Jesse onto the floor with the car keys in his hand. We're like, something's up. Walt's gonna do something here. And we know that Walt isn't mad with Jesse. That's not why he tackled him. He tackled Jesse for an even better and more important reason. He presses the button on the car keys, sets off a trigger, and literally there's a shot of the car outside of the shack, and the trunk flies open, and the M60 pops out on this it's like a triggered M60. He rigged it to pop out with the pressing of the car keys, and the M60 opens fire on the shack, and everybody standing up in the shack is immediately blown away. His bullets are spraying through the shack. Literally, the M60 is like rigged. He invented something to rig it, and I knew he was going to invent something in this episode. I was waiting for that to happen, and we see it literally going like this. It's just spraying the whole shack, and everyone standing up is getting torn apart by bullets. Walt and Jesse are on the floor. Todd is laying down on the floor, and everyone's getting shot up. So the M60 finishes firing. Mostly everyone is dead except Walt and Jesse. Todd gets up. He wasn't hit. He looks out the window and he's like, oh my god, someone just ambushed us. Jesse takes the handcuffs and strangles Todd, kills him. That scene was so pleasing to me. Walt killed all that. Excuse me, guys. I'm getting so excited here. Walt killed all of them successfully, except Todd. Jesse strangles Todd. I was waiting for that to happen. Everyone knew Jesse was going to kill Todd. I was so happy they had Jesse kill Todd. I really, really was. So Jesse strangles Todd to death. They start rolling around on the floor. Meanwhile, Jack is still alive. He's been hit a lot. He's still alive. Walt pulls out a pistol, aims it at Jack. He's like, wait, if you kill me, you'll never know where the money is. Walt's like, shoots him. He's like, I don't care. Shoots him. And we literally see the blood, Jack's blood, hit the camera. That scene was just, oh my god. So well directed by Vince Gilligan, guys. Oh my goodness. So Walt and Jesse are the only two left alive. Walt slides the gun over to Jesse. Jesse takes Todd's keys, frees himself. He has the gun pointed at Walt, and he's going to kill him. Walt's like, do it. Walt is ready to die at this point. Walt's finished what he wanted to accomplish, and wanted to kill them, and not for the money though. We all know why he's been doing this, for the meth, because that's what he absolutely loved. That was his passion. And Jesse just can't do it. He's like, I'm not going to do it until you tell me I want you to do it. Walt tells him, I want you to do it, and Jesse just can't do it. And that final scene between Walt and Jesse was just, that really hit me. So Walt and Jesse both leave the shack, and Jesse gets in a car and drives off, crashes right through the fence, and he leaves. And I was like, that's it. We see literally the last shot of Jesse yelling in the car. He's like, whoa! He's like driving off. And before he leaves, him and Walt have this final look at each other, and that final stare that the two of them have, you know, everything that they have been through together, it's just, it's over. And Jesse drives off, and that's the last we see of Jesse. So Walt picks up Todd's phone, because Todd's phone starts ringing. You know, everybody is dead, and that's, I think, what we were all waiting to see. Walt answers the phone. It's Lydia. She's all pale. She's sick. She's like, you know, Todd, did you do it or whatever? And Walt's like, oh, hey, Lydia. He basically tells her, I gave you ricin the other day in the cafe, and he hangs up with her, and I absolutely love that. You know, Walt gave her that ricin, and he killed Jack and all of them because of all his passion for cooking meth, and they had continued to keep doing it and selling it, even when he was in hiding, and he didn't want any of that. This is his formula. He started all this. He created all this. He wanted to finish it, and he finished it by killing off Lydia and all of them. So Walt leaves the shack, and we see him. He's hit. He got hit during the bullet spray of the M60, and he walks into Todd's meth lab. We don't know what's going to happen now. Is he going to die from his wound, or what's going to happen? We hear sirens in the background, so we're like, oh shit, the cops are coming. What is going to happen? So we literally see Walt with like the greatest smile on his face. He's just walking around. He's touching all the equipment in the meth lab. He picks up a mask, the mask that he's been using, you know, while he's been cooking throughout the whole show. You know, not the actual mask, but a mask to cook. And he like puts it down. Eventually, he's holding a piece of equipment, and eventually he just falls down and he dies. Dies from his wound. The cops arrive at the meth lab at the hideout. They arrive, and we literally see this over the head shot that's like panning up, and we see Walt's dead body on the floor, and the cops arriving with their guns pointed at him, and the scene cuts to black, and that's the end. It was a brilliant way to end the finale, guys. Oh my goodness. I absolutely freaking loved it. I loved it. Oh man, guys. So that's basically the whole plot summary for the episode, guys. And now I have a couple of other things I actually really want to discuss. I did discuss a few other things. I analyzed a couple of things already in the episode, but I have to discuss a couple of other things before I cut off the video. So, a couple of other things I really loved about this episode. This story writing this episode was absolutely freaking fantastic. I love how they had the character of Walter White. I just admit it, why he did all of this, and why he broke bad, because of his passion for cooking crystal meth. It was genius. So, anyway, guys, what I really loved about this episode, Vince, as I mentioned several times before, Vince Gilligan directing the episode was just brilliant. He did an amazing job. Every single episode that Vince Gilligan has directed, all of them have been really good, actually. He's directed several, and I loved the way he directed this one. The cinematography was beautiful. The editing was just insane. It was the pacing. You know, every single scene, I was literally on the edge of my seat. I did not know what was going to happen next. I was like, is he going to kill Gretchen and Elliot? Is he going to kill Lydia right here? Like, well, what's going to happen here? What's he going to do with Skyler? What is he going to say? I mean, I was just on the edge of my seat throughout this whole entire episode, because it's the end of the series. And it was such a big payoff, guys. Oh my goodness. Couple of other things. I mean, of course, the performances, everything was just brilliant with this episode, and the way they ended it was amazing. It really was. Now, guys, if I had to give a complaint with the end to this series, I would give two little problems, minor problems I had. It really involves two characters. One, we never got to see Saul Goodman in this episode. We never got to see what happened really to Saul. I mean, I know Saul started off on his new life, his new identity in Nebraska, but that was it. I mean, I would have loved to at least see Saul living his new life, or just something, you know. Just I wanted to see another scene of Saul. That was just a minor problem I had. And the other thing is, well, I do love what they did with Jesse. I love that final shot. That final shot of him riding off, and just the look on his face of he's just overjoyed. I mean, I know he's been through so much shit, but that overjoyed look on his face that he is free. He's free. I loved that. But a part of me just wanted to know what would happen to Jesse next. Because Jesse's alive. Jesse's done all this. He's cooked all this meth with Walt. Is he going to get arrested? Like what? I mean, that's the one character where we'll never know what happened to Jesse. We just know he's freed. But we don't know how long. Is he going to get arrested or what? Most likely he's going to stay. He's going to stay free. He's still... does he still have his money? I don't know. No, he started throwing it all over the place. So, I don't know what's going to happen with Jesse. I don't know. But anyway, guys, there are a couple other things I really would like to really analyze with the episode. Like I said, the most pleasing scene in this episode not had to be... the ending was great, but it was where he admitted everything to Skyler, why he did all of this. I mean, it was genius. Walter White went from mild-mannered chemistry teacher, boring, humdrum life as a chemistry teacher, and he started doing all of this for his family. That was his original intention, and it turned out he finished doing all of this. And why he kept doing this was just because of his passion for cooking crystal meth. He had that knowledge, he applied it, he used it to cook meth, and it got him this far. And that's all he wanted. He just wanted to keep cooking meth, and he kept making money off it. Yes, he got deeper and deeper, but he realized that maybe he kept trying to tell himself that, yes, I want to do this for my family. Yes, all I care about is my family. But deep down, he knew deep down why he was really doing all of this. He kept telling everyone, I'm doing all this for my family. You give all my money to my family. You do all this for my family. But deep down, he was really telling himself, I love doing this because it's what I love doing. It's my passion. This is my product, and I love it. I love that's why he killed Lydia and all of them. He didn't want all of his money. I seriously thought, I mean, that was what was going to go down at the hideout. He was either going to kill them for the money to give to his family, or he was doing it just because he wanted to stop his product from going all around. And it was that. He did not want anyone to have his product or his formula or anything like that, anyone to get his meth, because that is his, and that's that. And I absolutely love the final scene where he dies in a meth lab, because that's where his heart really was. It was never with his family. He never died with his family or anything like that. He died in a meth lab due to a gunshot wound that was kind of brought on by himself when you think about it. It was kind of like a suicide mission in a way. You can look at it at that. And I'm really glad Jesse didn't kill him. I'm glad that he died the way he did, and it was just a beautiful ending to this series, guys. This show was just amazing, and I just love how Jesse just drove off completely free in the end of all of this. I mean, that was amazing. When you think about it, when you go all the way back to Season 1, Episode 1, Walt really forced Jesse into doing all this. He's like, if you don't help me cook meth, I'm going to tell the DEA about you. I'm going to rat you out. And Jesse's like, alright, I'll cook with you. And that's how Jesse got involved in all of this. Walt has really screwed Jesse's life up, but now Jesse kind of has a chance to turn it around and make something of it, because now he's completely free. He's a free man, and Jesse's still young, and, that's that. But, Walter White is dead. He went out like a badass, I must admit. The place he died, that was all amazing. I mean, he was a freaking genius with the way he invented that Rig Dem 60. That was just freaking incredible. And I absolutely loved every single second of this episode, guys. It was such a satisfying finale, a satisfying end to the series, great end to the season, and just it was beautiful. I mean, this show has just impressed me from beginning to end, from season 1 on, in how many twists and turns it had, and how unpredictable it was, and just how crazy it really was. How it took this one guy, turned him into a complete monster and a complete genius, and he was doing all of this for for the pure passion of cooking crystal meth. That was his passion, and I love it. So thank you, Vince Gilligan. Thank you, AMC. Thank you, Sony Pictures. Thank you, the cast, the writers. Thank you all so much for giving us the greatest show of all time. And thank you for this such a pleasing and satisfying finale and conclusion to Breaking Bad. Guys, thank you so much for watching my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys a lot for watching it. And what did you guys think of the finale? Let me know down below in the comments, guys. I apologize for the length of this video, but I had a lot to discuss, a lot to analyze with this show, and it was genius. I mean, it's just, I love the way they ended it. I really, really do. I mean, Skyler and the kids, they're, you know, Walt Jr.'s got that money coming to him, and, you know, they're free of Walt. Walt is gone. Walter White is dead now, and he died in the place where he loved doing what he did, and that was amazing. I know that kind of sounded wrong, but anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and as I said, anything you want to talk about with the finale, let me know down below in the comments. What did you think about it? Let me know, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.